Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Broken hydrants, sinkholes, issues all over the city. What is causing these problems and what can be done for you to get them fixed quickly? I'm Hank Winchester. Help me, Hank, tonight.
The sounds of splashing in sump pumps all across southeast Michigan as the great February melt-off continues. We'll look at even warmer temperatures for the weekend.
All right, Ben, we're going to begin, though, with breaking news just coming down over this past hour. Former Olympic gymnastics coach John Geddert has committed suicide just hours after being charged with 24 felony counts by Michigan's Attorney General.
Those charges announced today range from human trafficking to criminal sexual conduct, but now he won't face them following this shocking turn of events.
So here's a bit of background. Geddert owned Twist Stars Gym in Diamonddale and rose to prominence training Olympian Jordan Weber. He then went on to coach the 2012 Olympic team in London. He was also a close associate of Larry Nassar, who is, of course, currently serving a 60-year prison sentence in federal prison. Let's get to Grant Herms. Geddert was not in police custody yet, Grant.
Devin, he was not. He had agreed to surrender himself to law enforcement, was supposed to be in court today for his arraignment via video, but never showed, and now we know why.
Former USA Gymnastics coach and owner of Twist Stars Gym in Lansing, John Geddert, taking his own life just hours after charges were announced against him. Earlier in the afternoon, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel saying Geddert was supposed to be arraigned in Eaton County Court. Geddert never appearing by video as expected. His body was discovered at a rest stop in Grand Ledge. Just hours before, Geddert was charged with 20 counts of human trafficking, 6 of them involving a minor, each carrying a 15 to 20-year prison sentence. He's also charged with criminal sexual conduct, both of those charges with a minor between the ages of 13 and 16. According to the charges, the incidents allegedly occurred in 2012, and the victims were coerced into affected sexual penetration and sustained personal injury. Attorney General Dana Nessel.
The victims suffer from disordered eating, including bulimia and anorexia, suicide attempts and self-harm, excessive physical conditioning, repeatedly being forced to perform even when injured, extreme emotional abuse, and physical abuse, including sexual assault.
Geddert was also charged with 1 count of racketeering and 1 count of lying to a police officer who was investigating claims against disgraced former Michigan State and USA Gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar. The Attorney General adamant Geddert was his own case that will not have an impact on their ongoing investigation into Nassar's time at Michigan State.
And in a statement just a short time ago, Attorney General Dana Nessel sending out this statement reading, quote, "My office has been notified that the body of John Geddert was found late this afternoon after taking his own life. This is a tragic end to a tragic story for everyone involved." And there are still a lot of unknowns in this shocking turn of events, a lot of pieces of this puzzle we are still trying to put together. But one main thing here is there were a lot of women hoping to testify in court and tell their story, and now they will likely never get that chance. Back to you.
All right, Grant. Now, we do have a live crew in Sky 4 headed to the scene in Grand Ledge. We'll have new updates just as soon as they come in. Now, let's turn to breaking news happening right now in Southfield.
Tim Pamplin is live at the scene of a shooting at 9 Mile and Greenfield. Tim, what can you tell us?
Well, yeah, Kimberly, this is, like you say, Greenfield and 9 Mile in the Greenfield Plaza here. A 21-year-old man and a 27-year-old man got into an argument over a lady, and a gun was produced. Let's get to the videotape just a few moments ago. The 21-year-old shot the 27-year-old. The 21-year-old stuck around. He's in the back of a police cruiser now. Police are talking to him. His story's changed over the last half hour or so. He thought it was a robbery. He's now flipped and told the police that no, he knows this guy. It was an argument over a young lady. The victim is the 27-year-old man is at Ascension Providence, just behind the Strip Plaza here. He's getting worked on. He's in critical condition. Again, the 21-year-old is in police custody. That's the scene in Southfield right now. Back to you guys downtown.
All right, Tim. Now to a sunny but cooler day across Metro Detroit.
Yeah, we'll definitely take it for Thursday in February. So let's get over to Ben and see what we've got coming for later tonight. Hi, Ben.
Hey, guys. Yeah, 50 is a little much to ask for 2 days in a row here in February, but we were still above average, and we're sitting at 40 right now. 42 at City Airport, and everybody is cooler, especially along the east side, even though those are the warmer numbers. About 3 to 5 degrees colder. Those numbers a little bit more dramatic in the last couple hours than they were here at 5 o'clock. But we're already looking forward to the weekend. Yes, there is still rain, but some decent warm temperatures too. 46 Saturday, 48 on Sunday. We're going to kind of bookend the weekend with rain, and we'll talk more about the timing of that and why there is snow on Storm Tracker 4 right now. More on that in just a few minutes, guys.
Okay, Ben, let's take a look at today's coronavirus numbers, creeping up a bit. 1,388 new cases over the past 24 hours. State also reporting 48 more deaths. That includes 30 from a review of vital records.
And when it comes to the vaccine, no new shipments to the state today, leaving the total at 2.6 million. And we've hit a milestone with more than 2 million doses administered statewide.
Today, President Biden announced the nation is halfway to his goal of 100 million vaccines in his first 100 days in office. While the administration is making progress on that important front, it's also prodding Congress to deliver his massive stimulus package to try to help cure the nation's lingering economic woes. Alice Barr is in Washington. Alice?
Devin, President Biden today trying to enlist governors to garner support for his COVID bill in Congress, while at the same time he's marking a milestone in the race to vaccinate America. Frontline workers and public servants receiving their COVID-19 vaccines today in a ceremony marking the 50 millionth dose administered since President Biden took office.
And the more people get vaccinated, the faster we're going to beat this pandemic.
It's the halfway point in his promise to deliver 100 million shots in his first 100 days.
In 5 weeks, America's administered the most shots of any country in the world.
Good morning, Doctor.
Earlier today, Vice President Kamala Harris visited a pharmacy in Washington, D.C.
How you are administering the vaccines, the kinds of conversations you're having with folks who may be curious about it.
The administration highlighting its efforts to send more vaccine doses to local pharmacies, especially in underserved communities that have borne the brunt of the pandemic. The White House says overall vaccine distribution has increased 70% since Inauguration Day, helping life inch back toward normal for millions of Americans.
I get a chance to hug my grandchildren again. Yeah, that's the main thing.
But as demand grows, state and local governments are pleading for more help. President Biden today joining a virtual meeting of the National Governors Association. He's hoping state leaders can help put the pressure on federal lawmakers to pass his nearly $2 trillion COVID relief bill to pay for everything from vaccines to unemployment benefits, a critical lifeline paving the path to recovery. The House is expected to pass the COVID package along party lines as early as tomorrow. It faces a tougher climb in the Senate, where some of the bill's biggest provisions, like the $15 minimum wage, could be cut. In Washington, Alice Barr, Local 4.
Alice, officials at the Wayne County Jail are calling it a potential game changer. It's a new filtration system aimed at keeping COVID from spreading through the population. Victor Williams shows us how it works and why they think other facilities will follow their lead.
Well, this is supposed to be an absolute game changer. Wayne County jail officials are calling this new technology a weapon that can fight COVID-19 all the way to its core, and they're looking at it as a way to reduce those COVID-19 cases within the building, both the inmates and the staff.
We will consider every viable measure to protect our personnel, the inmate population, and the public.
Thursday morning, it was announced the Wayne County Jail will be utilizing new technology ultimately designed to stop COVID-19 right where it stands.
We're going to attack COVID where it lurks, in the air. And the technology we've acquired from IVP is groundbreaking.
Integrated Viral Protection, otherwise known as IVP, are the ones behind the new heated filtration system that somehow kills the virus on contact.
It's the world's only biodefense indoor air protection system, proven to catch and kill actual SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19, and other airborne pathogens, instantaneously in a single pass.
And since it's the first of its kind, higher-ups are saying it can serve as a model for other public places where people could also be at risk, like schools and hospitals.
We're going to have these purifying systems that are going to be first in the country to be in places to clean the air and make sure that people are safe.
Why we see these units as a critical step forward in continuing our efforts to keep COVID out of our jails and out of our facilities.
And the county spent about $240,000 to have that machine installed, and that's at a discounted price, so that goes to show you just how much they're trying to help out this situation at the facility. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Okay, Victor. A Wayne County inmate will stand trial in connection to a death of a corporal inside the county jail.
DeAndre Williams is charged in the death of Corporal Bryant Searcy. In court today, video was shown of Williams outside his cell the day Corporal Searcy was killed. Prosecutors say Williams got out of his cell, attacked Searcy, putting him in a chokehold, all in an attempt to escape. The judge determined the trial will move forward.
It's not my position at this point to make a determination of guilt or innocence. It's only my position to make a determination whether or not there is probable cause based upon the evidence presented that the matter go forward as charged.
Williams is due back in court next week.
We're just getting started here on a Thursday. Let's check in with Kim DeJulio.
With capacity restrictions capped at 25%, restaurants are doing whatever it takes to survive. I spoke with one local spot about just how hard it is to stay afloat with these restrictions in place.
All right, Kim, also, they're called the long haulers. Ahead at 5, the new effort launched today to figure out why symptoms for some COVID patients drag on for months. Hank.
Perhaps you have a mess like this one in your neighborhood. I'm Hank Winchester. Help me, Hank. Tonight we are coming to the rescue and showing you what you need to do to make sure the city fixes problems in your area.
Okay, Hank, and we continue to follow that breaking news story that we told you about first at 4. Coming out of Lansing, a former USA Gymnastics coach has died by suicide hours after being charged with criminal sexual conduct and human trafficking. Michigan State Police say troopers found John Geddert dead this afternoon at a rest area off I-96 in Clinton County. This is video just into the newsroom of the scene where we're told that Geddert shot and killed himself. We have a crew on the way to that scene, and we'll bring you updates on the news at 6 and clickondetroit.com.